Hi everybody! So it's that time of the year again where I come in and show you guys my favorite products for a particular season. Of course, this is going to be for the season of fall, which is my favorite season of all time. I know it's also like 80% of people's favorite season, but it seriously is just an amazing season. I'm not going to lie, half of this is really just lip products because I love fall lip products. Love fall lip products. Like, seriously, I am just obsessed with these colored lips. I love plums, I love oxbloods, I love as dark and vampy as you can get it. I am totally there. I'm talking like NARS Train Blah, you know, like that color. I'm super into it. So yeah, let's just get started. By the way, I did just film a makeup tutorial for this look, so if you guys are wondering, Kylie, how can I get your amazing makeup? It will be up next Monday. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. By the way, I should probably mention, I haven't made a formal announcement, but yes, the background has changed. I did repaint my room. It's now like a tanny, creamy color and then a red trim around it. I really like it. I think it's a much better change from the green because I honestly hated that green color, so I'm a huge fan of this new paint. So yeah, this is what the background's gonna look like from now on. I'm going to start with foundation. The Sephora 10 Hour Wear Perfection Foundation is definitely going to be my most worn foundation this season because it provides flawless coverage, a really nice matte finish without making you look cakey or making you look dead. It really is more of just like a natural type of skin finish. It's just that in the fall I don't really prefer dewy finishes. I don't like things with a lot of luminosity. I like a lot of my makeup products in the fall to be very matte. I don't know why that is. It's kind of the same in the winter. I just like a more matte look because, you know, during the spring and summer I'm so into the dewy, glowy bronziness that come fall and winter I'm just ready for a change and I like a more matte look. So this is absolutely amazing. And even in like the fall seasons, like especially right now as we're transitioning from summer to fall, my skin has been just super haywire. Like it'll be really oily one day then really dry the next. And even on my really dry days I find that this doesn't cake up, it doesn't look unnatural, or it doesn't look super, like I said, dead matte. It still looks very natural and the coverage on this is just amazing. So I'm a huge fan of this. By the way, my shade is Claire Light 12. Moving on to some eye makeup. I love eyeshadows in the fall. Like I love just fall colors, earth tones, really deep sort of plums and olives and gorgeous like raspberry type shades even, just to help like blend out some colors. I mean, eye makeup in the fall is just so much fun. And one of my favorite palettes is from Wet n Wild, and this is the Lust palette. I love, love, love this palette in the fall. I've had this now for like 3 years, and every single fall season I always pull it out. This is the palette that I use to do some of my eye makeup today. And seriously, just these plum colors here are so gorgeous. They remind me a lot of like MAC Sketch and MAC Fig 1. Just super, super gorgeous shades, all very, very pigmented. And I think that plummy shades like this are just so beautiful to pop into your fall makeup because it's, you know, a way where you can wear some colors and stuff but really look seasonally appropriate. So love that palette. And then for some singles, I mentioned this in my last haul video, I have just been obsessed with these. I've had these now for about like 2 weeks almost. That haul video was pre-recorded and I just uploaded it this week. And these are the Clinique All About Shadow eyeshadows. The ones that I have are Olive and my Martini, which I will do a swatch for you guys because for some reason I totally forgot to like do swatches in my last haul video. But here is a swatch of that. Put it on the back of my hand. Super gorgeous, really, really pigmented, rich, creamy, taupey olive color. I've just been loving this all over my lid for like a smoky look. And then this one in the shade Black Honey, which I love to wear with like something like I have on the lid today, like a nice light type of color. Apply a brown to my crease and then use this to sort of blend it out. It adds just a beautiful warmth. I mean, it's just a gorgeous like rusty type of a shade. And when you use it to blend out browns and stuff, it just adds such a gorgeous warmth to your entire look. So again, with the pigmentation, they're both really, really gorgeous, really pigmented colors, and I've been absolutely obsessed with them. Move on to some eyeliner. I have to put this mascara away. I just used it in my last tutorial and it's bothering me having it out. So anyway, for eyeliner, I really do like using brown liners sometimes in the fall because I think that when you have a lot of like browns and golds and like, you know, soft rosy shades going on your lid, it sometimes is kind of nice to stray away from black because it can look a little bit too harsh, and go for brown. It just, I think, can sometimes pull a look together. Of course, today I'm wearing black eyeliner, so I can't really attest to it too much, but I do really like brown liners in the fall. And my favorite is this one from CoverGirl. It's the Perfect Point Plus Liner in the shade Espresso. And the main reason that I love this is because if you are a black eyeliner fanatic like me, this is still, you know, like, not too brown. It still maintains a little bit of like a blackness almost to it. It's more of like a true like darkened brown espresso type of a shade. It is super creamy, really easy to use, and I absolutely love these CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus liners. They are one of my favorite drugstore liners, and this espresso shade I think is really pretty for the fall. And then finally, my other eyeshadow pick is this one from bareMinerals, and to be honest, I really have no idea what this is called because there is no name or even like a color shade on this whatsoever. I will put it down in the description box though. This is a beautiful like rose gold pigment, and the packaging on this, it's sort of like a double-ended sword a little bit, because I mean it's nice in the sense that you don't have pigment falling everywhere. I really hate how pigments are usually packaged, you know, just put into jars, because they just fall everywhere and they're so messy. So this is kind of nice in the sense that you have the sponge tip and like all the pigment is contained in there, but it also kind of sucks because it's sometimes hard to get this sponge tip covered with pigment. A lot of times just the end does, but this shade is seriously so gorgeous. This is a super metallic, really pretty rose gold shade. I'll sort of sheer out the swatch a little bit so you guys can maybe see it a little bit more. Really pigmented again. It looks gorgeous just all over the lid with some mascara and some eyeliner. Really pretty, and I'd highly recommend this. It's just a beautiful shade for the fall. Okay, moving on to my favorite fall lip products. I'm so excited. I'm just going to show you guys the one gloss that I have because, as I mentioned, I really like my makeup to be pretty matte in the fall, and I don't really go for super glossy lips because I find that with darker, vampier shades, sometimes if you go glossy, it can just look a little bit too much, I think. And plus with darker shades, if you apply gloss on top, it means that it's going to fade a lot more quickly, and it can be a hassle to apply like a dark berry shade all the time because then you have to worry about things feathering and bleeding, and it's just hard to do, you know, if you don't have like a lip brush and stuff. So keeping it matte will mean that it'll just stay longer throughout the day, and you don't have to worry about packing a lip brush and a mirror and all this stuff in your purse if you're going out. So anyway, but the one gloss that I do really enjoy during the fall, this is sort of like if I don't feel like, you know, working with the maintenance of like a really dark lip color, I like this. This is the Maybelline Color Sensational Gloss in the shade number 110 Mirrored Mauve. I've mentioned this in a variety of different videos. This is just a really pretty, kind of like a mauve color. I mean, the name kind of says what it is. It's just a pretty mauve-y, slightly plummy shade. My lips but better, I guess you could say. And I think this is such a great shade for people who don't really like the super intense lips because it still gives you that hint of plummy mauviness, kind of, again, sort of season appropriate, but you don't have to worry about looking crazy if you're not into the really deep lips. Now onto the lipsticks. I'm going to start with the one that I think is a great like gateway lipstick into darker lips, and this is from Revlon. It's the Super Lusterous lipstick in the shade number 610 Goldpearl Plum, and it's sort of like a raspberry plummy shade. It is really wearable. I mean, it's not like your deep plums. This is way more wearable than I think you would even think. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It adds a little bit of depth and darkness to your lips without looking like it's too much. It's just really pretty. Again, like I said, sort of like a raspberry plummy shade. I think it would look really nice with this gloss on top of it. So I think that is just a great lipstick for fall for those of you who aren't into the really deep lips. And for those of you who are, I have quite a few options here. I'm going to start with the one that is probably like the least intense. Again, I think that if you aren't really into deep shades, you would probably enjoy this. This is the Rimmel Show Off Lip Lacquer in the shade Comet. And it's like a, I don't know, kind of like a rosy tan color, put a swatch of that on the back of my hand for you guys. So you can kind of see there, it is a bit deeper than that Goldpearl Plum shade, but it basically, I mean, it's along the same lines as far as the actual like tone of the shade goes. It just is like a few shades more deep, but I think it's super pretty. This formulation is really, really nice. I mean, I can see the hype behind all these. It can be a little bit drying around like the outer corners of your lips, I find, but it lasts for ages and ages and ages, and you got that really pretty shine factor at first, and I think that that is just a really, really pretty fall shade. And then onto some actual lipsticks. The first one here is the one that I am wearing today. On top of another one that I'll show too. This is from Maybelline. It's the Plum Perfect Color Sensational Lipstick, number 435. There's that label there for you. This is a gorgeous, like, vampy oxblood plum shade. I used this ages ago in my Lana Del Rey tutorial, and I mentioned how excited I was to use this for fall. And now that fall's finally here, I'm being able to use this, and it is just, honestly, out of all these lipsticks, this is probably my favorite because it's just a perfect balance of being red and plum. It's just super, super gorgeous, and it's really affordable, so I love that. And then the other ones that I have here are from the CoverGirl Lip Perfection line. They offer some really nice, like, vampy shades. This first one here is the one that I am wearing underneath that one that I just showed you. This is number 310 Smitten. And this is a lot lighter. It's more of like a berry shade, kind of like a, not sheer, but just sort of like more of a translucent berry, I guess you could say. It still does look very nice and vibrant on the lips, but it's not, you know, something super deep. And then the other one that I have is Tempt. This is number 355, and this is like a punchy raspberry shade. This is definitely for the bold. I mean, it packs a whole lot of color. It looks, I mean, a lot more like neon in person. It's just a very punchy raspberry red shade. Super, super gorgeous if you pair it with like golds and stuff, because it really makes that red in it just really pop. So that is really pretty. And I apologize for my weird swatching. I don't know why I did it this way. Now I'm gonna have these colors like stained on the back of my hands, but that's no big deal. Moving on to blushes, and then we are done. This first blush here is from bareMinerals, and this is in the shade The One. I've mentioned this in a few seasonal favorites videos because I think that it's just a great shade like all seasons, but I think that the plummy tones in this will make it particularly nice for fall. It's one of those shades that you know, it's not like super insanely pigmented. I mean, it's not one of those blushes that you really have to be careful. I mean, you can have a pretty heavy hand with this and you can't really go too wrong. It is pretty sheer though. You do have to build it up a little bit, but I think that a lot of people who are sort of just coming into like plummy blushes and stuff will really appreciate how it's not anything too bold. It's just sort of like a nice plum effect to your cheeks without being anything too insane. So yeah, I really, really enjoy that blush. And then the other one is something that is really pigmented and you will have to be careful with. And I think that if you're a beginner or if you're just getting into fall makeup, you may prefer something like this a little bit more because it's a little bit easier to work with. But this is the Amazing Cosmetics blush in the shade Pink Chocolate. This was another color that I mentioned in my fall haul video. Gorgeous shade. Really pretty, like rosy tan kind of color. It's a lot like Tarte Exposed, except it is a lot more like pinkier. And I mean, this blush means business. I mean, this is an insanely pigmented blush. I'll do a swatch of it on the back of my hand so you guys can see. I mean, there it is right there. This blush really, really packs on the pigment, especially, you know, if you don't like sheer it out kind of like I am. But I think that it is important with this blush that you use a light hand and a fluffy brush, because otherwise I think that you could definitely go overboard with it and get very like ruddy looking cheeks. But I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. If you really like blushes like Tarte Exposed, you'll absolutely adore this because the color is just really nice and vibrant, and it wears for a really nice amount of time too. So I really enjoy this, and I think that I'm going to get a lot of views out of that this season. Alrighty, and I think that that is it. Those are all my picks for this fall season. Of course, I'm going to use other products, and I'll be showing a variety of different products in upcoming fall makeup tutorials. But I think that if you're looking for just kind of like a staple fall collection, you could definitely pick out some pieces from these products that I've shown you and really just get a good fall makeup collection that will take you throughout the season, especially with like that Wet n Wild palette and these Clinique shadows. I think that you could pretty much just stick with like all of my Martini and be completely good for the fall, because that is just a gorgeous fall shade. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this and found this helpful. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.